You're going to set up your canvas to be 11 inches by 8.5 inches, okay? And then you're going to go in and you're going to choose a super family. So if I'm going to go in here, File, New, we're going to call this my first and last name, Mrs. Fitz. Let's call this Name Collage. Okay, Name Collage. We're going to be 11 inches by 8.5. Okay, so landscape, one artboard, orientation. I'm going to go CMYK and 300 and hit create. Okay, I need to put my grid on. Grid can be put, all right, by going to View and Show Grid. Okay, down here, View, Show Grid. All right, and so now you should have a grid. Yours might look a little bit different, okay? They might look a little bit smaller. It doesn't really matter as long as the grid is on. Every single thing in your name collage has to be 90 degrees, okay? So it has to be 90 degrees if you rotate it, okay? Everything is square, perpendicular. Am I saying that right? 90 degrees, my math people. Perpendicular, I am, right? Okay, but as you can see, you get to, it's a puzzle of your name. The best thing to do is start with your super family with your first name in its own text box and your last name in its own text box and make those large, okay? And then you just start filling in the other spaces with your first and last name. What I want us to do with this is when we're using type in this class is very different than English class. Okay, we get to be creative, and that's the unit that we're in right now is typography. So you're just going to use your name. It can go forward, it can go backwards, it can be all capitals, it can be, I personally think you leave it all capitals for this particular project. It is much easier to keep your name fitting together with all capitals than a lot of lower cases. That's up to you, but I think you should do it in all capitals. Okay, so for our text box, as we know, I click once to get a text box. I'll put my name, okay? I'll hold down scale, and I can put it right there. And now I can go into my super family. I have to find a super family. It needs to have at least 4 different font weights. Italic does not include, do not use italics for this, okay? So if I go into Comic Sans, it has regular italic, bold, and bold italic. I cannot use it, okay? It only really has 2. Okay, if I go into Rockwell, it has regular italic, bold, bold italic. Once again, I cannot use it. All right, I'm going to clear all of these, and I'm just going to find, what is going on with all my typefaces? Here we go. I'll use this one. Bond Script has 15. I know I'm okay, right? So what are we looking for? This is a lesson on being able to fit your name like Tetris, 90 degrees, being able to rotate, what I will show you, and also using super families to design. Using a super family as a graphic designer is the greatest hack that you can possibly use when you have something with a lot of text. When you have designing something with a lot of information and a lot of text and trying to match typefaces together and trying to get contrast, use a super family. Use a super family with a lot of people in its family. All right, so I'm going to start with this one right here. I'll put it right here. I'll hold down Alt to make a copy. And I'm just going to type in my last name, Fitzgerald. Okay, I'm going to use the grid. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to just align everything for my name. You can have spacing if you want. That's up to you. I just like to sit them on top of each other. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold down Alt. All right, and I can change this now to a different size, okay, and I can start flipping them and having a little fun. If you right-click, it says Transform. This is where you can rotate, and you can rotate them 90 degrees, okay, or -90 will do the other thing. There's also a rotate button on -90. Okay, and it'll rotate down. That's all you get, all right? And then you can just, I can also, all right, I don't need to do every single one a little different, okay? Do we all understand this? Are we good with this? Last but not least, You can also go to transform and you can reflect. Okay? It's not English class. All right? So if you want to do a little mirror, if you just want to be a little fun and funky, if you're trying to fill the space better, you can also go upside down. All right? We're looking for different font weights. Okay? Last but not least, you get one color. You get tints and shades in that color though. Okay? So what color did they choose? Blue. Okay, but it's not all the same color blue. Just like super families with typefaces, colors also have dominance, right? The darker, there's more contrast with a white background, whereas lighter, it's going to blend in a little bit more tints and shades. And it's just going to create a really cool dynamic composition. All right. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. We'll do that today and tomorrow. We should be able to crank this out today and tomorrow. All right. Questions on this? 11 by 8.5. You have to find a super family with at least 4 solid people, no italics, one color, different, your hue, okay, one hue, and then you can have different tints and shades in that, or different values, whatever you want to call them. And there you go. And you need to fill the page. Questions? All right. This is where my kids went wrong, where they didn't want to put a, big, they either did too many big and didn't want to fill it in, all right, or they did everything the same size. Okay, so we're looking for just different, a lot of movement here. All right,